Welcome back to my channel. I am Joanita, and today I wanted to do an unboxing. If anyone watched my previous video, I was clearing out some space and was evaluating some of the plants that I currently have, and I mentioned that there would be one I would be repurchasing, and this is it. So stay tuned. I'm going to switch and hold onto the camera. I already started a little bit, so then it's a lot easier for me to complete the opening. So the plant I got is okay. It's difficult to do it in one hand. It's Zebrina. I'm sure quite a lot of you are not surprised because I was gushing over my previous Zebrina when I did decide to let it go, but it gave me some time to think about what I missed about the plant and if I was ready to take it on again. So let me open this. I'm going to have to cut a little bit, as in cut the videoing, so I can unbox it with both my hands, and we'll be back in a minute. Immediately I see that there might be a bit of a problem. I think, not quite sure what that is, that right there, but it kind of looks a bit like maybe fungal or something. I'm not quite sure. And this is what I do, by the way, whenever I receive new plants, I just inspect them. Let's make this the marker so that you know this is the actual plant. As usual, I will be repotting this, so I will clean it up, which is what I always do with most of my plants, including Calathea. There's a school of thought that says, you shouldn't really repot Calatheas because it disturbs them, but I tend to want to find out what's going on with my plant and the roots. I've learned the hard way sometimes just leaving the roots, the plant alone, because there might be some underlying problems. So I tend to repot, and also I prefer terracotta pots. And this is plastic at the moment, which is fine for things like Calathea because plastic would help to retain more moisture, but I've always just used terracotta pots, and that's how I know how to water plants with, so that's what I'm going to do. I just wanted to highlight something which I've noticed about ordering online plants, for me anyway. And what I've noticed is whenever they come, it's almost as if the plant has just been repotted. Do you see how loose this soil is? It's so loose that it doesn't seem as if this plant has been established in this pot. It's almost as if it's been repotted for the purpose of selling. And so that's another reason why I don't feel so terrible repotting it. I mean, I know it's going to be stressful on the plant, but I just feel like, okay, it's probably already been disturbed, so let me at least disturb it in its final place. So yeah, and we'll go through the condition of this particular plant anyway, but it's got a few bits of new growth, some yellowing, and we'll figure out what that is about. I thought it might be useful to see what I do when I receive a plant like a Calathea. So I sort of stopped unpacking it so you can see how I treat my plants. From the very beginning, from when I received them. Even if I purchased it from an in-person shop, I would still go through to check the roots and check the plant. The plant comes away easily from the pot. I think it was in a different pot, and for the purpose of transportation and I guess making sure it's in a good presentation, it was repotted into this pot. But you can see it's really root down, and this is another reason why I tend to investigate. Some of these roots are a bit dark, so I will be cutting them off. I can see this one seems a bit okay. There's some leaves here that are a bit soft. So all that kind of stuff I go through and remove. So let's get rid of some of this old soil. And as I'm getting rid of the soil, I'm also just checking the soil to see if there are any bugs, if I see anything. So if I think that the soil is okay, what I will also do is keep a little bit to the side so that when I repot I can add this old soil to the new soil, so you know it has whatever the nutrients that this plant has been used to at least. After I loosen this, I will go to the bathroom and just rinse off the leaves, both the top and the bottom, just to shake off any bugs. So okay, so I will show you now. I've loosened just any of these roots that look like they might be a bit too mushy, but generally this is okay. I know you're probably screaming, oh my gosh, that girl's like killing that plant, but I'd rather do this now and then make sure that the soil that it has is something that I'm familiar with and something I can manage, and so I know what the watering regimen will be. Okay, that's it. Just quickly going through and chopping off any roots that I feel are looking a bit unhealthy, like this one. You can probably see that if it focuses, and just a few that may look a bit in need. And the good thing about this soil is that it's dry. Okay, just showing you the mix. I've got some alfalfa soil. I'm putting in some orchid bark, and then I'll add some perlite. Okay, that goes in, mix well, and I want this to be well draining, but I also want it to be able to retain some moisture. So I think that's fine. And I'm just going to put that in there. I'm just showing a close-up of some of these yellow spots on the leaves. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. It looks like maybe a burn, perhaps from too much sunlight, or maybe too much fertilizer perhaps. But I noticed that some of the leaves do have it on them, and I'm just showing close-ups of it. But again, it doesn't really concern me as long as it's isolated. It's more anything that looks a bit more suspicious and you know, unusual that I'd be concerned about. So I'm just going to cut that off. I don't mind the leaf burn, but I think this might be something else, so I'm just going to cut this leaf. She is doing well behind me, and it seems a bit bright, but that's just because the room is bright. I will be putting her down in a shadier spot, probably just lower down on the floor, and so she'll be shaded by the matapilla behind me. So the care is very easy, and I'll put in the information card my Calathea Care video, which also has my previous Zebrina in there, so it's definitely still relevant. And it's just making sure that the soil remains relatively moist but not wet, and that means for me in my environment watering her about every 2 to 3 days, and also misting the leaves. I do not use a humidifier on my Calathea, that's more of a preference and me being lazy. So misting every morning and just keeping the soil relatively moist, and hopefully she'll thrive. So if you have any experience with Zebrinas, let me know below what you think of the plants and how you care for them. I also have a Houseplants which I really love, and that's, I swear, one of the most easiest Calathea that I've found anyway. It will be nice to have the Zebrina back in the collection. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.